A conversation begins about chance cubes, with one person accusing the other of never supporting them. Later, someone is denied entry to a private game, but claims to be from Surround Nuance checking for gangsters. Despite initially being refused for not being a high roller, the person eventually talks their way in by claiming to have won the Sabacc Invitational at the Kento Grand. Inside, someone named Kavis is confronted by Lando Calrissian. Lando reveals he wants Kavis to help retrieve something he lost at a Crimson Dawn Sabacc table on Kijimi. Though Kavis mentions he's not on good terms with Kira, Lando convinces him to get into the game, offering to share trade tricks and credits in exchange for help. The scene shifts to space travel. Characters evade TIE fighters and jump to Kijimi space. During this time, there's a brief, somewhat awkward conversation about family. In Kijimi, Kavis asks Lando what he's trying to win back. Lando describes it as his lucky Sabacc token. Ves locates the game table and requests to join. Despite initial resistance, he's allowed in under the dealer's house rules. Ves wins the game with pure Sabacc and obtains Lando's token, with the dealer sending a message that Lando is welcome to return to lose his cape. The scene transitions to a conversation about someone named Aang, who is described as dangerous. Later, while in space, Ves is approached by Imperial forces requesting inspection. Lando warns Ves not to let them get the token, revealing it's actually a data card containing intel. Sabacc games have been a cover for passing information. Lando arranges to meet Ves in the jungle. Ves follows Lando's directions through a jungle, but is surprised to find an Imperial ship. A battle ensues against Imperial forces, which Ves and others successfully repel. Afterward, Lando reveals he's working with the rebellion, explaining that sometimes the best way to hide is to stand out. Ves receives a call from a broker offering a lucrative opportunity at Renpoli Station. Upon arrival, Ves is led to Governor Thornden, who reveals he knows Ves stole his bookkeeper, Bosnock. Thornden blackmails Ves into participating in a high-stakes Sabacc tournament on the Xenocruiser Merenia to win a valuable moon, threatening to expose Ves as an Imperial mole using forged credentials. Ves tells MD about Thornden's threats and begins searching for information about the Merenia. Through clever investigation at the station, Ves identifies the Merenia's shuttle model, ZH-40, and tracks its movements. After following the shuttle and intercepting coordinates, Ves's ship faces security vessels from the Merenia, but eventually locates the Xenocruiser. Ves arrives at the Merenia and approaches the check-in desk. Using false identification as Torin Valerio Knapp, Ves explains away the lack of reservation by blaming the droid for forgetting to make one. The receptionist casually accepts this excuse, suggesting it happens frequently at the establishment. The protagonist is assigned room D26 on the main level of a ship. When they inquire about the location of a Sabacc game, they're told it's happening at the Grand Coil stage at the front of the ship. Despite requesting an upgrade to fancier accommodations, they learn the Pike Syndicate has booked all luxury suites. When asking about security, they're assured the ship is safe with doubly reinforced hull, constant hyperspace travel, 98% of the time, and strict prohibition of Empire officials. The protagonist and their companions separate, with one heading to the bar while announcements confirm the ship is now in hyperspace with no entry or exit until the tournament ends. Unable to bluff their way into the Sabacc tournament, they decide to steal an invitation instead. Their companions suggest they look around while they listen for gossip among the droids. After gathering information from various sources, they learn about a bookie taking bets, who possesses the confidential player list for the tournament. From the bookie, they discover key players including Zenigata, 9-2 odds, described as hungry and reckless, Sabacc, the 2-1 favorite backed by the Pikes, and Altis, a 16-1 long shot and known cheater. Having obtained the player list, they begin identifying potential targets whose identity they can assume to enter the tournament. After eliminating non-human players, they consider Robin Vashiri, whose identity involves an unreproducible mask, before settling on Zenigata, a human player without syndicate affiliations. They gather that she's in room D34 with a large outstanding tab and begin seeking information to blackmail her. They locate Zenigata, who rebuffs their approach. Through clever maneuvering, they obtain a master keycard and discover she stole a valuable Varillian egg from the Pikes to sell to Crimson Dawn to fund her tournament buy-in. Armed with this knowledge, they successfully blackmail her for her tournament invitation. With invitation in hand, the protagonist enters the high-stakes Sabacc tournament where players are competing for Ocala 5, encrypted coordinates to a legendary hidden moon containing 2.8 trillion tons of pure cipherite ore. They introduce themselves as Zenigata, meeting the other competitors, including Lando Calrissian. The tournament begins with straight SFART rules, no shift tokens. The protagonist navigates the first round cautiously while observing the other players' techniques. When a player attempts to cheat, the ship's AI dealer immediately catches and punishes them, demonstrating the strict enforcement of rules. As play continues, the protagonist builds confidence and starts to impress the other players with their skills. The first round concludes with a dramatic reveal of hands, resulting in a tie for the lead with a Cyclops Sabacc. The protagonist manages to claim a substantial stack of credits, leading Lando to question if they'll also steal his new moon. A tense card game unfolds with 5 players remaining in round 2. The atmosphere is competitive as participants take turns drawing and discarding cards from sand and blood decks. There's some banter about a mask, which one player notes cannot be purchased but must be given. The game continues methodically through several turns with each player carefully selecting cards. A player named Sabacc is caught cheating with stashed cards. Despite protests that the card was planted, the game host is disappointed and eliminates Sabacc. The game continues with 4 players left. Players stand or draw cards until the reveal, where a prime Sabacc takes the lead, but an unfortunate roll changes fortunes. Samagata wins the round, eliminating Moss and Robin McFury. The final round begins with just Lando and Samagata. The stakes involve ownership of a moon that could potentially spark a bidding war between syndicates and mining guilds. The playstyle changes noticeably as they carefully draw and discard cards through 3 turns. The tension builds until the final reveal, where Samagata wins with a Sabantha of 2. The game dramatically shifts as Samagata reveals she set up Lando. Thornden had rigged her credits to explode as a distraction. Chaos erupts with orders to capture them and throw them out the airlock. Nix and Lando flee through the ship, with Lando determined to still get the moon while bandits pursue them relentlessly. The escapees realize they're trapped in a ship during hyperspace travel. Lando heads to catch the bandits in the engine room, while Nix works to secure an exit. They discover the bandit leader has the valuable moon. A chaotic chase and firefight ensues throughout the ship as they attempt to disable the hyperdrive and escape. After escaping, Lando proposes a deal to work together. He explains the rebels don't want the Empire finding the moon's coordinates. Despite initial reluctance, the group agrees to seek revenge against Thornden, who betrayed them. They set course for Teshera to gather intelligence on the bandit group called the Starfallers. The team discovers the bandit leader is Axelinol and obtains coordinates to her location. They intercept a message revealing Thornden is working with the Empire and planning a pickup of the moon. Through various contacts and intelligence gathering, they learn the Empire is planning to attack the Starfallers' hideout. Using encryption keys, they unlock the coordinates to the Starfallers' base. Vess hurries to reach the location before the Imperial assault begins. Lando provides lookout while Vess infiltrates the base to find the moon. Inside, Vess encounters Axelinol, who still has the moon, but doesn't believe warnings about the impending Imperial attack. As Imperial forces arrive, Vess barely escapes the assault. Axelinol is captured by Thornden's troopers, having ignored the warnings. The chase for the valuable moon continues as the Empire's involvement escalates the stakes of this dangerous pursuit. Vess acknowledges Thornden has won this time and announces their intention to find Axali, who should know where the moon is headed. They're told she's by the other shuttle and time is of the essence. Axali reveals that Thornden is taking the moon to his personal bunker in Miragana's spaceport, and the Empire remains unaware. She suggests Thornden will need a front to move that amount of money quietly. They agree to meet in Miragana. Osnok, Thornden's bookkeeper, explains that Thornden owns the 5 moon containing cipherite. The governor has been researching how mixing cipherite with toluene gas creates a deadly toxin. This revelation indicates Thornden is developing a weapon which could provide access to his bunker. A plan is hatched to confront Thornden through a face-to-face meeting with someone hidden inside a gift. The scene shifts to Lando Calrissian meeting Governor Thornden, bringing toluene gas as a gift and offering his mining expertise. Thornden cautiously agrees to give Lando 10 minutes. While Lando distracts Thornden, someone else infiltrates the facility. Thornden reveals his ambitions to create his own government after the Empire falls, using the weapon to maintain order. Thornden then invites Lando to discuss business in his office. The infiltrator navigates Thornden's massive facility, searching for a central databank to locate the moon. They overcome a barrier and gain access to an archive, stealing information while acknowledging the moral complexity of Thornden creating a weapon. The infiltrator finds and deletes a fake hologram Thornden made, then successfully locates the map to the moon. They prepare to escape and request a distraction, which is accomplished by accessing reactor control. During the escape, they encounter resistance, including a walker. With assistance, they manage to charge capacitors to open the roof and successfully escape with the moon. Cave has shown conscience in their actions. T'Challa now owes them, though they'd prefer rebel credits. The moon changes hands, with warnings about the responsibilities that come with such power. Lando parts ways with Cave and Eve, expecting to see them again. The conversation concludes with reflections on Thornden's prediction about the Empire's end. Lando acknowledges the galaxy is changing and advises preparation for when everything comes crashing down, suggesting major upheaval is on the horizon.